Hey everybody, Danielle from Rooted Studio in Platteville, Wisconsin. Today I'm bringing you a challenging Yin Flow warrior sequence. We'll be going through all three variations of warrior and adding some extra fun challenges on. It would be helpful to have a block nearby. We'll be doing some core work today, and then it might be a nice support to have in some of the poses. You can get by without it. Hey everybody, Danielle here from Rooted Studio in Platteville, Wisconsin. Today I'm bringing you a challenging warrior sequence. It would be helpful to have a block. You can get by without one, but we'll be doing some core work with the block, and then it might be nice to have that as a support for some of our poses as we head through our practice today. We're going to start seated, so if you like sitting on a block to help raise your hips above your knees, feel free. Coming into a comfortable position, allowing your spine to lengthen from the floor to the crown of your head, feeling like there's a little string at the crown of your head pulling you up just a little bit taller, but your chin remains neutral. Shoulders away from your ears, maybe gently rolling them back, gently pinching your shoulder blades together. Allowing your hands to rest somewhere that's comfortable, and either closing your eyes or just softly gazing on something in the distance. Becoming aware of the place where your hips come into contact with the block or your mat or the floor. Becoming aware of what your feet are touching. Feeling the space between your vertebrae as you are seated here, making sure that you're not projecting your ribs forwards, that you're in a nice straight line. Your low ribs are gently knitted in, belly gently sucked into your spine. You're not super forcing it. Just everything is bundled up nicely as you're sitting here, extending up towards the ceiling. Taking your breath into your belly. So as you inhale, your belly button protrudes forwards. And as you exhale, really taking your belly button towards your spine, making that a forceful, strong exhale, turning on your core. And continuing that pattern, inhaling, pushing your belly forwards. Exhaling, activating your core. Inhale, belly forwards. And this time, as you exhale and draw everything and pull up on your pelvic floor. So really squeezing everything from every angle. Keep breathing. I know I'm still talking and you might be like, when's she going to say to inhale? Just keep breathing. Pushing belly out. Sucking belly in. Pulling up the pelvic floor. Maintaining awareness of the relaxation of your muscles on the inhale, the expansion of your belly space, and then on the exhale, feeling that tightness, that contraction, that strength. Hopefully you can rely on some of that strength as we go through our poses today. Taking one more breath this way, in and out, and then letting your breath return to normal. And as today's sequence is focused on the three warrior poses, I want you to think, what is a warrior to you? What characteristics does a warrior embody? What characteristics from a warrior do you want more of in your life? Is it the strength? Is it the bravery? Is it commitment to something? So pick a trait of whatever warrior means to you that you want more of in your life. And we'll call that in during this practice today. Sealing it in with 3 big inhales and exhales. So first, calling into your mind, what is that trait that you want more of? Exhale out any air that's in your lungs. Maintain that image in your mind. Nice big inhale through the nose. Pausing at the top. Open mouth exhale, let it go, sigh it out. Inhale, draw in that quality you're calling in. Pausing here, thinking about what is keeping you from that quality. And exhale out the junk, those barriers. Third breath, in through your nose, draw in that quality. Seal your lips, exhale through your nose. Perfect. Today we're going to start with some core work. So again, if you have a block, that does make this a lot stronger because we're going to use it to activate your core and your legs. But if you don't have a block, you'll just have to pretend that you have one. Our first exercise, you'll come onto your back. You'll extend your legs up into the air and you're going to take the block and get real friendly with it. So if I turn this way, block goes here. It's going to be here to help you squeeze and to remember to squeeze your thighs, which engages your core as we go along this ab work. So squeezing the block. And if you don't have a block, maybe you could roll up a thick towel or something just to help remind. It's a good tactile reminder of squeezing. Take your hands behind your head. You want to keep your elbows wide. You should not see them in your peripheral vision at all, if maybe just a little bit. Activate your legs. If this is too much, you can bend your knees, but try not to take your knees in too far. If you come in past 90 degrees, it really takes a lot out of this. This is meant to be hard, right? We need to amp up our core. Helps with balance, helps with day-to-day things. So if you're bending your knees, keep your knees at least stacked above your hips or extend straight up. Activate your feet, hands behind your head, and we're just going to stay here for a moment. Inhale. Belly up to the ceiling, and exhale, draw your belly button towards your spine. Really subtle movements. Inhale, belly up. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale. Exhale, lift as you suck your belly to your spine. Inhale at the top. Exhale, nice and slow down. Inhale, keep that block active. Exhale, sucking everything in, core is tight. Inhale, exhale, lower. Maybe you're shaking, that's good. Block active, inhale. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, exhale, lower. Watch your elbows. If you start drawing them in, it's because you're getting tired. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine. Really squeeze here, tight, tight, tight. Inhale. Exhale, lower. As slow as you can go, all the way down to the mat. Good. Bring down your feet. Release your block. And let your knees drop side to side. Windshield wiper action. Ooh, I just got a really good back pop out of that. Hopefully your abs are turned on. Hopefully you felt that. And then taking any other motions that you need to take. If a bridge would feel good or something else, curling up into a ball just to work through the abs, feel free. We have 2 ab exercises left. Our next one is leg lowers. If you need a little more support, you can slide your hands underneath your glutes. But if you can do it without sliding your hands, that adds more challenge and works your core a bit more. I usually need at least a little bit of support. Your legs are going to be straight up in the air to start. And like before, we'll inhale. And when you exhale and draw your belly to your spine, you'll lower your legs about 30 degrees. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower, and just hover right above the ground. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Inhale, back up. Exhale, release. Now, before we move on, if that's too much, you can always take more of a bend in your knees as you go down. You don't need the extreme angles. You can keep whatever angle works for you. And like I said, for me, having my hands under my glutes provides support until I get down to the bottom. Then I can feel how much it actually helps me. And so feel free to change if you're using your hands underneath you or not as you go along to make this as challenging as you need it to be. We'll do 3 more, just 3. Legs up in the air, maybe a little bend, maybe straight, maybe a lot of bend. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine and lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, hover at your lowest point. Keep breathing, and come on back up. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine and lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Hovering here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back up. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Challenge yourself. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Stay here, inhale. Stay here, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Hover here. Keep breathing. And let your feet drop. Whew. Hopefully you felt that one too. If not, you must have abs of steel. Letting your abs release however that looks like to you, rocking side to side. Sometimes lifting into a bridge helps because for me, for instance, during that, I feel it a lot across my quads. So this gives me a nice quad stretch reaching through my knees. We have 1 more left, and I call them Charlie's Angels abs. I'm going to face this way. So for Charlie's Angels abs, you're going to take your legs wide, and you can have a bend in your knees if you need a little bit of help there. You're going to make a little Charlie's Angels gun with your fingers. And when you inhale, you'll suck your belly to your spine, and exhale, crunch. So you'll end up looking between your hands, and if you want to make little gun noises, pew, pew, that's optional. If you're doing this in front of a mirror, like if you were in a workout room, you'd be looking at yourself when you come up. And when you're in this position, everything should be tight and turned on. So lowering down if you have come up, making sure that your body, so I could feel that my hips were a little tipping to one side, so I have to neutralize my body on my mat. And then when you're ready, take your legs nice and wide as you can go, maybe a bend if you need a little bit more support. Hands up, inhale, exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower, exhale, crunch. Really push through active feet, inhale, exhale, crunch. Turn on your core here, inhale, exhale, crunch. 1 more, inhale, exhale, crunch. Stay in this crunched position. Really turn on everything. Activate your feet, belly to spine. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Find any back release, ab release that you need. Maybe rolling up into a little ball. And then we'll come over into tabletop. top was just a pose to help get us on this side of the mat. So feel free if you need some cat-cow to work through cat-cow. Otherwise, from here, we're going to push directly into down dog. Pedaling out your feet as much as you need to. It really helps to keep a good bend in your knees here so you can take your chest towards your thighs and get length in your spine. Down dog is a back lengthener. Inhale your right leg up. Bend at the knee, open up, getting a stretch across your right leg. Feel free to drop onto your left elbow. Maybe rolling your ankle, getting some ankle circles or hip circles. If you drop down to an elbow, come back up onto both palms, square up, straighten your leg, look towards your hands, step through. Finding a nice low lunge here, 90-degree angle on your front leg, letting your hips drop. Maybe rocking a little bit just to get some movement going. We'll find a twist here. Take your left hand to the center of your mat, right hand up. Keep your hips dropping, maybe looking up into your right hand. Take your right hand down, step back, down dog. Pedaling it out, and we'll repeat on the other side. Left leg goes up, bend at the knee, maybe dropping onto right forearm, finding any movement. If you've dropped down, come back up to both hands, square your hips, straighten your leg, send it through. Drop your hips, find a little movement, and then come into your twist. Right hand in the mat, left hand up. Catch your breath. Left hand comes down. Big step forwards, forward fold. Bending your knees here as much as you need to, finding any movement. Calling into your mind that aspect of the warrior that you need more of in your life. Coming up, arms overhead. Really reaching up through your fingers, looking up into your hands. One more breath in, and exhale your hands through center down onto your heart in prayer. Beautiful. To prepare us for what's coming up in the warrior sequence, we're going to start in triangle and come into half moon. This is where a block might be helpful, but you can do this without it. And when we come into half moon a little bit later, it's going to be pretty quickly, which is why I want your body to get used to it now. You'll come to the middle of your mat on the long edge. Your block will be off to the right. Find your strong, solid Tadasana here, rooting down through the four corners of your feet, shoulders away from your ears, feeling the openness across your chest, crown of your head reaching up. Feel the strength in this pose. And then step nice and wide. And coming into triangle pose, for some people like a more narrow triangle, so maybe 3.5 feet, 4 feet apart versus it's not as wide as a warrior stance. Left toes will turn in, right toes will turn out, body square to the long edge of your mat. Arms out. Make sure you've got space to go forward. So I'm going to hit the wall here. I need to back up on my mat. So just working into Trikonasana or triangle pose first. Activate both legs, pull up on the quads, kneecaps get turned on and pulled up as well. Really pushing through the four corners of both feet. Body facing the long edge of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your body up. And exhale, reach forwards through your right fingertips, finding length from armpit to hip. When you can't go any further, find your block. Left hand comes up, and if you don't have a block, you can use your shin. See if you can get both shoulder blades on a wall behind you. And if you actually have a wall, feel free to do this against the wall for that tactile support to see, are you able to get both shoulder blades against the wall? From here, we're moving into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana, which is a balancing pose. Left hand comes onto your hip, look down at your block. And if you haven't done this pose before, you might just want to watch me first and then go back in the video. You're going to take a step in with your back leg. Your block is going to be in line with your right toes. Your body is going to open up when you come up into this pose. So think of both shoulders touching a wall behind you. You could do this on the wall for a little more balance and support. Looking down at your block, begin to lift up your left leg until you feel balanced and supported. Right toes are still facing your block. When you feel comfortable, which might not be today, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Body is opening towards the long edge of your mat. Back foot is stamping against a wall behind you, so flat foot. Trying to keep rotating your left shoulder open and breathing. You can do this without a block. I will do it without a block later, but my arms are long enough that I can reach, and that's not the case for everyone. To come out, left hand on your hip, slowly take your left leg back down, push up. Step your feet together. Neutralize your spine, your hips, put the block off to the left. Same thing over here. Finding Tadasana first. And then when you're ready, step wide. Wide-ish, 3.5, 4 feet apart. Turn right toes in, left toes out. Body squares to the long edge of your mat. Arms parallel. Inhale, lengthen your body up. Exhale, tip. Find your block or your shin. Feel free to do this on the wall. Right hand reaches up, going for length down here from armpit to hip. And breathe. Preparing to come into half moon. Take your right hand onto your hip, look down. Step in with your back foot, move your block in line with your left toes. And when you're ready, start to kick up with your back leg. Eventually taking both shoulders on an imaginary wall behind you or a real wall. I'm struggling on this side. Whew. There we go. And then maybe your right hand can come up. Find something to focus on that's not moving. Back foot stamping into an imaginary wall. Take your hand onto your hip, step down. Come on up. And step together, shake it out. All right. So again, I just want to introduce that because that will be part of when we get to Warrior 2. We're going to take the 3 warriors in order. Warrior 1 looks like this. Warrior 2, most people are familiar with Warrior 2. And Warrior 3 is coming into a balance, which I was not doing a good job balancing there. But we'll also find other poses within those, so building off of our warriors. One thing that I just wanted to mention is that in yoga, you can get injured. And one of the ways people can get injured is by going from open hips to closed hips or vice versa improperly. When you have closed hips, that would be like in Warrior 1 or Warrior 3, where your hips are pointing forwards. Warrior 2, we have open hips. And there are some yoga teachers that will have you go from one to the other, which if you think about it, if you're bearing body weight on the ball and socket joint of your hip, and you all of a sudden take your hips and turn your body forwards into warrior one, which again is this way. You're grinding the bone against the cartilage that's in that joint. Once or twice, it's probably not going to hurt you, but if you are a constant practitioner and you're always putting body weight as you turn your femur and your hip socket, you could create damage. So we're going to take each warrior separately, because going from warrior one and opening to warrior two would not be good for our hips. Just something to think about if you take classes with other teachers, that if something doesn't feel right in your body, or you're like, ooh, that seems like it's a grinding action, you don't have to do it that way. You can go into it safely and your own way. We're starting with warrior one. From the top of our mat, come into your Tadasana. Let's take a nice big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Plant your left foot, step back with your right towards the back edge of your mat. So that foot ends up at a 45-degree angle. Your body faces the short edge of your mat. And if your hips won't go, at least turn your shoulders in that direction. You want to come down into a nice lunge in your front leg. Make sure you can see big toe and second toe past your knee. Gently tuck your pelvis underneath, arms overhead. Breathe here. Warrior one. Calling into your body or your mind. What is it that you want to cultivate as a warrior? Finding some arm movements, make fists, bring your elbows down into more of a cactus arm action or a lat pull down. Inhale back up. Make this hard. You can work against your own body's resistance. Exhale down. Really make it difficult. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Take your arms out in front of you. Double check that your body is still okay in warrior. Now we're going to draw our elbows back, squeezing your shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Arms down and pulling your arms up like a row. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Last time, you'll be taking your arms back, working your triceps. Inhale. Exhale. And if you switch inhale, exhale, that's fine too. Good. Walk your front foot forwards. Sink deeper. Yeah. Hips, shoulders still pointing forwards. Deeper lunge. Same movements at your own pace. 3 of each. Arms overhead first. Feel the strength. Feel the hip opening. Be mindful with your movements. Coordinate your breath however it makes sense. Keep your body pointing the short edge of your mat. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back. Drop your body to the right of your leg. Exalted warrior. I've heard this also called humble warrior. I've also heard this called ostrich. Your choice if you're resting your chest on your left leg or not. For more of a challenge, don't rest there. Next inhale takes you all the way up. Body faces forwards. Step to the front of your mat. It might take a couple steps, and that's okay. Shake it out. That one is a good one. You should be feeling that quite a bit in your right hip. Okay, other side. Tadasana, top of your mat. Step back with your left foot at an angle, squaring your body up to the front of your mat. Sinking down. Make sure you can see big toe, second toe, leg working out towards your pinky toe. Arms overhead. Slight pelvic tilt forwards. And we'll begin our movements here. Make fists, inhale. Exhale. Work against your own body strength. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Forwards. Last one. Arms down. Pulling up, working against your own body strength, coordinating your breath, however it makes sense. And then arms down, reaching back. Scoot your front leg forwards, go deeper. Hips still facing forwards, or at least your shoulders. Those movements, again, your own pace. Try not to just blast through it fast to get it over with. Be slow and deliberate and mindful. Call in that warrior trait. Make sure your body is still facing the short edge of your mat. Feel the space opening in your hips. Feel the space across your chest. And then we'll come into humble or exalted warrior once you are finished, dropping off to the left of your right leg. Come on back up. Step your feet together. Good, nice job, nice job. Step to the back of your mat. Maybe rolling out your ankles a little bit so I can feel that pretty strongly in my ankles. Whew. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Walk yourself forwards into a down dog. Might need to step your feet back. And take a second here to just relax into this pose. Pedal it out if you need to pedal it out. Walk your feet forwards, little steps at a time. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing up. And we'll come to the center of the mat for Warrior Two sequence. You might want to block because we will be coming into half moon through this sequence. So if you would like a block, you can put that off to the right side. I'm going to go without one for now. Finding your Tadasana, stepping your feet wide, so wider than we did for triangle. Left toes in, right toes out, bend into your front knee, square your body towards the long edge of your mat. Should be able to see big toe, second toe, working your knee out to the pinky toe side, activating your back leg, turning everything on, extending your arms parallel to the mat, looking over right middle finger. If you really want to challenge, take this warrior deep and go working your thigh towards parallel. Call in that trait. What does a warrior embody to you? What do you need more of in your life? Feel that coming into your body here. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reaching back. Come back to warrior two. Reach forwards, forwards, forwards until you can't anymore. Finding side angle. So in side angle, shoulders come back like you're against a wall. You can rest your elbow on your knee, left hand up. Full side angle pose would be hand on the ground and your arm overhead, creating a straight line from back leg out your fingers. But we're going to find some movement here. So it might be easier to be in this elevated position. Inhale back into reverse warrior. Exhale forwards to side angle. Inhale back. Exhale forwards. One more. Inhale back. Exhale forwards. Come into warrior two. Step your feet closer together so you're more into triangle. Make sure your body's facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach into triangle, finding shin or floor. Take your top hand onto your hip. Look down. Either grab your block or place your hand in front of your foot. Kick your back leg up. Half moon. If you want more challenge, your right hand that's on the ground or the block, pick it up. And hover. Step your back foot back down with control. Warrior two. Nice wide pose. Come on up. Both toes point forwards. Find a wide-legged forward fold. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Catch your breath. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Two more times. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Really push through your legs towards the wall behind you. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to stand. Step your feet together. Reset before we do the other side. If you needed a block, move your block off to the left. When you're ready, step nice and wide. Right toes in, left toes out. Bending into your knee, body with the parallel to the long edge of your mat, looking over left middle finger. Left knee is working towards pinky toe, maybe working down towards parallel if you need more challenge. Reverse your warrior. Pausing here. Come back to warrior two. Reach forwards, forwards, forwards. Find side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale up to warrior. Step in a little bit closer. Front leg is straight. Inhale. Exhale, triangle. Inhale. Exhale, hand to your hip. If you've got the block, move it in front of your toes. Otherwise, take a step in. Hands or block in front of your foot for support. Lifting your back leg. Shoulders on the imaginary wall behind you, or do this on the wall. Right hand up. Maybe hovering left fingertips for more challenge. tough for me on this side today. So just won't hover on this side, and that's okay. Coming back down into warrior two. Turning both toes out at an angle this time. Arms overhead, reaching out, star. Maybe letting your head drop. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. Bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, sink. Really feel the opening in your hips. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale, sink. Hold here. Maybe finding some lateral movements. And come on up. Step your feet together. Warrior three. Come to the back of your mat. What is it that you need to cultivate as we move forwards into this last bit of warrior sequence? Warrior three is like making a letter T with your body. And if arms extended doesn't work for you, you can always take your hands to your heart or airplane them behind you or out to your sides for balance. I have a shoulder injury, an old one, so sometimes keeping my arms extended doesn't work for me. Some days it's fine. If you think you want to try arms extended, we'll come into it that way. So arms overhead, pick up your right foot, and you're going to take a step towards the middle of your mat, tick-tocking your arms forwards and your back leg up. Working your hips square to the mat. They want to roll open to the ceiling. So you're going to feel that roll up. See if you can keep everything square. Back foot pushing into the imaginary wall behind you. Picking your leg up as high as you can get it. It's okay if it's not far. And as if this isn't challenging enough, let's take it one step further. Come up to stand, stay balanced on your right leg. Draw your left knee up towards your chest until it's parallel to the mat. Extend your arms out to the sides. Find a twist to the left. Turn your body back towards the center, hands to your heart. Extend back into warrior three. Take your hands down to the mat or your block. Let your head sink. Feel free to take your leg higher. And then bring your left foot down to meet your right. Forward fold. Hang here. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Step to the back of your mat. What is it you need to call in? Inhale, arms overhead. Stick out your left leg. Step forwards. Tick-tock up into warrior three. Hips squaring down towards the mat. Foot pressing into the imaginary wall behind you. We'll begin to come to stand. Stay balanced on your left leg until your right thigh is parallel to the ground. Slowly open your body to the right, twisting. Take both hands to your heart. Come back to center with your torso. Kick your leg back one last time. Drop your hands to the mat. Let your head hang. Feel free to take your leg a little higher. And bring your right leg to meet your left. Come down onto your knees. Knees wide, big toes together. A well-earned child's pose. come up and sit on your heels. And this is acting more as a test to see if you can do this. Not everybody's anatomy allows. So you do have the option to sit on a block, put that between your feet. If you are able to sit on your heels, take your heels to the outsides of your glutes. So you're sitting between your feet. You might need to kind of come up, grab your calf muscles and roll them out to the side. And if you're sitting on a block, just let your heels come out to the side. We're coming into reclined hero pose to get a nice stretch across your quads. I'm going to turn sideways. So just be mindful of your knees. Make sure that this doesn't hurt your knees in any way. And if it does, sit on the block or find an alternative. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you're feeling enough stretch in your quads, you can stop here. If not, begin to lean back, maybe simply into your hands, maybe onto your forearms. If you're still not feeling enough, work your way down onto your back and maybe clasp your arms overhead. Not everybody's anatomy allows this. So don't get discouraged if you can't get here. Whichever version you are in, taking a few deep breaths. Thinking about how that warrior series 1, 2, and 3 went. What can you learn from it? What did you do that you didn't think you could do? Did you call in that trait? And if not, don't get discouraged. Sometimes things don't happen instantly. If you are down on the ground, come up to your forearms. Once you're at your forearms, walk up to a seated position. We'll come forwards, coming into an embryo pose. That would be knees together, big toes together. Sinking down over your heels, letting your arms come behind you, palms up, forehead on the mat. Really release your shoulders down to the mat here. Come up into tabletop. Next, we're working into pigeon. And if pigeon is not good for your body, you can always lay on your back and do figure 4, grabbing through. We're going for a stretch on the outside of each leg. If your body does allow pigeon, we'll come in through down dog. So pushing back into your down dog. Lifting your right leg up to the ceiling just to gain some momentum, and then bring your knee to your right elbow and turn your ankle towards your left wrist. Drop your hips, slide your left leg back, untuck your toes back there. If there's a big distance between right hip and the mat, take a block and slide it in there, or a towel or a book. Your front leg, and all the pictures of the yoga poses, shows the front leg parallel to the mat, which is not accessible to everybody's knee or hip. So actually, for me, I have my heel tucked in a little bit more. My leg is more at an angle. And this is the pose as well, because I am feeling it here, which is what I'm going for. Now, if you like staying up high in your pigeon, you can. You could use a block to come down onto elbows. Personally, I like to come all the way down to the mat. And when my body is tight, I usually just rest my forehead on a block. Sometimes I can come all the way down. but I have to be careful of my right knee because sometimes it doesn't like that torque put on it. So being aware of what you're feeling in your body and where, and responding to it smartly. Not just trying to go into the full version of the pose because somebody else can. Respecting your body and its limitations. Relaxing your jaw and your shoulders. If you have folded all the way down to the ground, begin to work yourself up onto forearms. And if this pose feels really good and you just want to stay here for a while, pause the video, stay here. It's one that I find delicious, I guess you could say, and I could stay here for a long time, but that's not the case with everyone. So if you're ready to come out, working your way out, we're going to just untuck your left toes and slowly drag your right leg back. You'll come all the way onto your belly, all the way down. Take your feet as wide as the mat and let your heels turn in. Stack your hands underneath your face and either rest your forehead or your left cheek on the mat. After pigeon on the other side, we'll turn your cheek the other way. But if you have your forehead down, obviously then you would want to do that again next time. This is crocodile pose. Becoming aware of the sensation in your hips, especially the one that was just stretched. Go ahead and bend your knees and just let your feet drop side to side. Maybe kicking forwards and backwards. And if there's anything else that you're like, ooh, that would feel really good right now to help stretch out that pigeon pose, do it. Find it. When you're ready, we'll meet in down dog. Take your time. Left leg will go up. Bring your left knee to elbow. Turn your foot in. Drop down, sliding your back leg, untucking your toes. Sides are different. So maybe one hip was really far off the ground and this one isn't. So if you need a block, grab a block. Notice how much my foot is turned in. You can play with this angle. And then when you're ready, finding your version of the pose, maybe working down a little bit deeper. Making sure you feel the stretch. Left hip, left thigh. Jaw relaxed. Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere else, and can you let it go? If you are down on the mat, Coming up, working your way eventually up to tall arms. And we'll come out nice and slow, the same way we did on the other side, carefully dragging your leg back, coming onto your belly, stacking your hands. If you can remember which hand was on top last time, switch that. Feet as wide as the mat, heels turned in, and if you had left cheek turned last time, turn the right side. Bend your knees, find some movement. Straighten both legs. Reach back for your right leg. So my thumb is pointing down, I'm grabbing my outside ankle and just gently pulling my heel to my glute to get a quad stretch. Doesn't matter what your left hand is doing, it's up here by my head for support. And if you can't reach your foot, you could always grab a strap, and if you don't have a strap, roll up a t-shirt, a towel, a bathrobe tie. Switch sides. Bring both feet in. Hands either on your feet or your heels, thumbs pointing down. Lift up into bow pose. Kick your feet into your hands. Use that to stretch through your arms. Maybe kicking a little higher. If this is uncomfortable underneath your pelvis, your hips, you can always put a blanket there, get some more cushion. Lower down nice and slow. Roll onto your back. First, stretching everything long, maybe interlacing your hands and turning your palms away from you. Oh, hello, block. Reaching through your feet, nice big good morning stretch. Arms down by your sides, bring your glutes and heels close together, probably by moving your heels towards your glutes, not the other way around. Gently rolling your shoulders underneath. We'll push up into a bridge, maybe clasping your hands underneath your back if that feels good. Maybe coming up onto your toes if that feels okay. Lengthening your neck. Can you watch your belly rise and fall? If your hands are interlaced, let them go. Come down all the way. Letting your heels sink. Staying here, we'll come into this one more time, or option of taking wheel if you would like to take wheel. So either bridge, or if you're coming into wheel, slide your arms up and around like you're making a snow angel. Once your biceps are close to your ears, drag your fingertips back until they're right by your shoulders, and then lift up through your hips, or find bridge. Lower down nice and slow. Hugging your knees into your chest, rocking a bit side to side. And if there's anything else that your body needs before coming into final Shavasana, please find that first. Otherwise, whenever you are ready, meet me in corpse pose. A very well-deserved, well-earned final relaxation. And whether you're in a final pose right now, or you're in Shavasana, thinking about that trait, that quality of the warrior that you find admirable, that you want to draw more of into your life. Inhaling that quality in, and exhaling, releasing down into your mat. Inhaling in the quality. Exhaling any feelings of inadequacy. Inhaling in the quality. Exhaling, releasing whatever it is you can let go of. Inhaling self-forgiveness. Exhaling, letting go of whatever it is you can let go of. Taking a moment to yourself with your breath in this space. Reconnecting with your breath. Remembering that you are a warrior. You have that trait that you're calling into you. You just need to dust it off. You need to wake it up. You need to remember that that is in you. You are a warrior. Bringing some movement into your fingers and toes. Bending your knees, taking the soles of your feet to the ground. Shifting your hips one way or the other to help you come into fetal position. Whichever side is more comfortable for you. And when you're ready, pushing up to a seated position, just like when we started. Finding that long spine, shoulders gently rolled back, a posture of confidence, a posture of openness, of security, of stability, of I am, this is me. On your inhale, take your arms overhead, swooping all that goodness in. Exhale, draw all of it down into your heart. Taking another inhale. Letting it out, exhale. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Namaste.